it going? Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us for the 14th episode of Living Well. Today, I'm very excited to have some friends of mine on. This is the first time we've done an interview with multiple people at once, which is really exciting. So let's get to our guests. A 5-member country pop band originally formed in 2018 from all over the world, comprised of, in alphabetical order, Austin, Caleb, Chad, Chris, and Simon. The band released their first full album, Rivers, in October 2019. We just finished an amazing Bonnie Raitt cover, also, by the way, which you should all go check out. The links are below after this episode. Please welcome King Calaway.
Hi, everybody. This is like the most exciting Living Well ever, because normally I do an interview with one other person, but now I have 5 of you.
It's a whole party.
It is a whole party. I am so excited. King Calaway, welcome to Living Well. Thank you so much for coming on today. We just recorded a crazy cover. These 5 humans are so flippin' talented. They can all play multiple instruments. They can all sing in like a jillion part harmony. And I'm just always so happy to be in your presence and be able to make music. So if you guys haven't seen our cover yet of Bonnie Raitt, Something to Talk About, which is also one of my favorite songs, I'll put the link below in the description. But first off, I want you each to introduce yourselves for people watching who may not know who is who plays what. So say hello to all my Living Wellers and tell them what you play. And then, we'll start there.
Nice. Cool. Let's go alphabetical. I'm Austin with an A. Let's see if we can spell.
Yeah, I don't think I can even know how to spell, guys.
Alphabetical by first name, boys.
All
I'm
right.
Austin, and I play the bass and do some singing also.
I'm Caleb. I play guitar. I play electric guitar in King Calaway. I sing. I'm the baby. I'm 19 years old. Yeah, I'm 19. About to turn 20, baby. Woo!
Woo! What's up? My name is Chad Michael Jervis. I'm here in the beautiful state of Delaware, and I sing and I play guitar in King Calaway.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Chris Deaton. From Nashville, but right now I'm visiting my wife's family right now. But I play drums in King Calaway and have fun doing it.
What's up? I'm Simon. I am a singer, not the singer. There's like 100 of us, but I play guitar. I play piano, as my bedroom will say, and I'm currently quarantined in Gibraltar, so very far away from my Nashville life right now. But yeah, loving life.
Well, look at all of you. So if people don't know, you guys were all kind of recruited to be in a band together. So I first want to know, what were you all doing before you decided to start a band?
Go alphabetical.
Should we go reverse
Alphabetically?
alphabetical?
Yeah. I was introduced to everyone, I guess, by way of Los Angeles, where I was living and working as just a touring bass player, playing for different pop acts out there. And so I'd say I lived in Los Angeles, but I was really only there for like a few months out of the year because I was on a bus or touring or something, most of the time, like very, like gratefully, like that was my job and I was really doing pretty well at it. But then this guy named Robert was like, hey man, I really like the way you slap that bass. How about you move to Nashville? And I was like, well,
exactly that, right?
yeah. And I'm like, well, what's in it for me? And he was like, a record deal. And I was like, sold. So
he said it's a record deal and you will be labelmates with Lindsay L. And we were all just like, yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah.
So
I was like,
glad.
perfect. I'm in. And so I put all my stuff in a U-Haul and drove across the country and that was that. That's me.
Nice, dude.
I was in university.
Dude, alphabetical. Come on, man.
You took so long. I was like, maybe he forgot the alphabet. Sorry, you go.
No, I was playing, like, dude, I hate you.
Lindsay's going, oh my goodness, what have I done?
I don't know how you guys do interviews, by the way. This is incredible. This is my favorite thing
This is
ever.
the worst to do it. Yeah.
Well, because you can't feel each other. It's even easier
Right.
when we're around each other,
Right,
but
right,
you
right.
can't really like feel it out over
Zoom, it's like,
Zoom.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going, Simon. I'm talking now. Don't talk. Okay, so before King Calaway, I was actually playing in like a lot of hard rock and metal bands. So that was like my past. Growing up, I did a lot of that. And then I did a 180 and I worked at my church for like 4 years as the worship leader there. And through a friend of a friend of a friend of that church, I actually met Robert like Austin did, and met these guys. And it's been a pretty fun ride since.
I was up in Boston. I was at school at Berkeley up there studying, and we had this thing called Career Jam, which is like career fair for musicians, and that's where I met Robert Deaton, and he saw me play, and same deal as Austin and Caleb, where he's like, hey, I know these guys down in Nashville, like it'd be cool for you guys to meet up and jam it out and see if a band could work. And then I moved after that. I moved all my stuff from Boston down to the south, and I've been there ever since.
Is it me? I thought Chris.
Yo.
Isn't Chris?
Yo,
Chris.
come on.
A, B, C.
I just saw he was itching to go earlier. I didn't know we were still going alphabetical. So I played for like a bunch of artists for like years, but I'd always wanted to be in a band, like be part of the creative. And so I started looking for that. And for like, I feel like maybe 4 years, I tried the band thing and just couldn't get it to work. Bands are hard. And so I actually, when this happened, I was actually taking a break from music and figuring out if I wanted to keep on trying to do it. And I was working at my uncle's bus company. And then through my dad said, I know you're trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, but meet these guys. And I did, and decided to go for it one more time. And it worked out great.
I had just finished my degree in university in England, and I was going to go and be a Catholic, like campus minister slash missionary in the States, actually. When a friend, well, he was a visiting tutor at my university, and he was the musical director for One Direction, and he was like, dude, I know this guy in Nashville, Robert Deaton, and he's kind of like got his eyes peeled for musicians, and I feel like you could be a really good fit for what they're trying to do, because I know you love your harmonies and you love your acoustic guitars and all that stuff. And so I literally I packed up and went for a weekend initially to meet the guys, and then it kind of, it was a great weekend, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Fun.
Hey.
Okay, so I want to know, because I mean, I've been doing music ever since I was a little girl, as it sounds like music has just been a part of all of your lives from an early age. But I knew that I probably could never be in a band, because I would always feel like I'd outwork everybody, or just being in a band, like Chris said, being in a band is hard, and finding the right group of humans to work together is a difficult thing. So like, what was that first meeting like when you all finally got together for the first time and were like, okay, so we're gonna do this thing? Like, did you get on a call, or were you in person?
We were in person, and we went like straight into a band room. We just felt like we wanted to cut straight to it. So we kind of went in and started knocking around some song ideas. We actually played Love the One You're With, which is like on our album and stuff. That was where we found Common Ground, a song that we all kind of knew and wanted to jam. But yeah, it was definitely quite, it wasn't like daunting, but it was definitely like, I was nervous going into the room being like, wow, like I'm in Nashville right now meeting these guys. And you're also like you said, a band is like quite a strange scenario anyway, but when it's with people you're meeting for the first time, that's like an added element. But I think we kind of brushed over the awkwardness pretty quickly, didn't we? Like we just kind of
Yeah, I feel like there was an immediate kind of like click when we started playing. It was like, I think all of us had that initial nervousness of like, these are people I like don't really know, like is this going to work out? Like, and it was just when we got on stage and like started playing, it immediately was just like, yeah, this works, this can work, and we should really move forward with this with all of us. So,
and we're all like nice guys. I mean, I don't want to speak for everyone here, but I feel like we're all like nice guys too, and we also just like, I don't know, happen to have a bunch of similar interests and like really genuinely like got along with each other from the get-go. So I think we got like pretty lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will speak for all of you to say that all of you are so sweet and so talented. And the first time I heard all of you sing harmony in one room together, I was like, oh shit, like, oh dang. I don't even know if I can swear on this thing. This is my own show. And
You can bleep it out. It's all good.
I mean,
It's something that we just bring that out of people. Yeah, that just happens.
yeah, true enough. But what do you guys do to me? But I just, you all are just so wonderful human beings. And I guess you know when something's meant to be when a group comes together. Okay, but as for being in a band, I want to know the schematics because it also has been why I've always been so afraid of that and probably never did it. Do you have somebody who is in charge of social media? And do you have somebody who is in charge, like all of you play different things? And I know, as you've been doing this, King Calaway House Band series, I know that some of you are really talented in like track studio world and video world. Like, do you have jobs within the band? It's like, okay, somebody always looks at Instagram or somebody always looks at Facebook, or do you all kind of do everything?
I think we have like we have to have a certain amount of like a schedule sometimes with socials because like I think we're all good guys and we don't want to step on each other's toes. So sometimes if there's not a schedule, we just end up not doing it because we don't want to be the one out in front and like, so it helps us to have a schedule when it comes to socials and all that stuff. We always say this, if there's even like different opinions or we always say like we might each have our own flag, but after the decision, we want to come out of a room waving the same flag. And I think we're all good knowing our strengths and weaknesses. Like Austin's an incredible, like good at producing music and like he knows mics and like, I don't know any of that stuff really. So, everybody has their strengths, when it comes to like vocals and like harmonies and stuff, Simon and like Chad are both like really good at that. So I think we just all have our strengths and we're all aware of them.
That's incredible. I guess that is the huge plus to being in a band is you all just like, you all equal each other out. Okay, so you guys opened for Garth Brooks on your first tour. Is this really a thing? Like that is setting the bar so high. It's like, well, guys, this is our first tour ever. I mean, what was it like opening for Garth? I mean, I have met him a couple of times, but tell me what it was like to meet him and to spend some time with him and play for his audience.
That was like the most insane experience of our lives. I think I can speak for everyone. Like playing in front of like 80,000 people is just a feeling that isn't like matched by anything. It was crazy. So that weekend, we played Garth on a Friday. And then I flew to my hometown in Ohio and went to prom on the Saturday. So that was like a massive moment in my life. And it was just like,
that was like quite a life-defining weekend.
Yeah, seriously. But just like, it was stupid. And to get that seal of approval from Garth, like coming out of the gate as a band and basically being endorsed by Garth, like, hey, I like these kids. I like what they're doing. That was massive for us. That was super cool.
And it was great of how hands-on he was with us throughout almost the entire day. Like he had us sit in his like press conference to like kind of show us the ropes of how that's done, had us come up during the press conference as well. He was there for our sound check to make sure everything was sounding good in the stadium for us. And then he extended the time for us to go on stage so that there was as many people as possible for us to play in front of. And then to top it all off, we're in the tunnel behind the stage getting ready to go on, and Garth is there. Just like in a ball cap, t-shirt, and jeans. Like, I need a hot mic. And I'm like, are you going to sing a song with us or something? I don't know what's about to happen. And he goes on stage and introduces us, which he's never done in his career. And that was, I think, for all of us, just like the generosity from him and from his entire crew and his entire team. They are literally the best of the best. They're the top people, and it was a really tremendous experience for all of us.
That's so incredible to hear. I mean, they really are the best of the best. Garth has obviously been doing this for so long, and he just has the utmost respect to everybody in the industry. And I think we all respect him so much because of that. He's Garth. He's the GOAT, as they say.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, through COVID, for a lot of bands, for a lot of artists, all of our lives have been sort of 180'd a lot. You know, touring has completely changed. But again, being a band in this environment right now, and especially being a band from all over the world. I mean, Simon, you're still in Gibraltar. Like,
Yep.
please talk about at the beginning of COVID, because I remember I was in Berlin and Amsterdam playing C2C. You guys were, and then you went to London, and some of you went home, and some of you stayed and then got stuck. And then, so please talk about how it's been, you know, from the beginning of quarantine until now, being a band in COVID.
It's just been one really long month of March. That's what it's been.
March. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really tough, like you say, because we've had to completely have a huge shift in like our approach. Like, we pride ourselves on the live performance, and what people can take away from that is how they can like truly understand King Calaway. And so suddenly when it was like, okay, no more live shows, and you guys are on 3 different time zones or whatever, it was like, okay, well, we don't want this time to be lost. And thankfully we've had generous artists like yourself taking up the offer to join us for these, what have honestly just started off as like home videos. Like Chad and Austin have been putting them together in terms of like the video editing on iMovie and the audio stuff in Austin's studio. And like, we were just like, well, we need to do something, and we want people to see what we're best at. So we showered as many harmonies on all those covers, as you know, and we've had a real kick out of being like the session band for Nashville during this time. It's been really cool.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are like the house band of Nashville right now, playing for Nashville's greatest stars. I've loved watching your covers every week. I have had so much fun being a part of them. And I just have to say, as a fellow artist within quarantine, you all have done such an exceptional job of making the most of this time. Even when you all are in different locations, it's like you have taken this time and been like, okay, how can we make the most of it? And I mean, kudos to all of you. I'm so impressed.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, Lindsay.
I have to ask, you used to have 6 members, and now I only see 5 of you. I know Jordan also sang lead vocals. How has this changed things as a band for you musically? What sort of inspired the decision to change the band to 5 members? You know, was this a thing of quarantine, or was this just the right decision for the band moving forward?
I think a bit of both. I think that it became clear to us, like during the quarantine, I feel like quite comfortable talking about it because Jordan's still my mate. Like, we were texting, like there's literally no bad blood. It's just been like the downtime has given us a lot of time to think and to maybe think about the future and what the best direction is. And I think mutually we were like, Jordan, we want you to get the best out of you. And he was like, well, I want you guys to get the best out of you. And sometimes we felt like those things were getting in the way of each other. And we were like, well, are we trying too hard to fit a square into a triangle when you could be like a super successful square and we can be a super successful triangle? And I think that like we took it all with like a lot of humility on both sides. And then like I think it's if you ever have to go through this as a band, I hope you can pick up the phone and talk to Jordan Harvey about it, because he's been really cool about it. And it was amazing that he was like, well, yeah, I share this feeling with you and I love you guys. And in fact, he was just like, I want to make sure before this ends that, like, you know, I forgive you guys of any arguments in the past or whatever, any lingering, whatever. I just wanted to be good. And I genuinely was like texting him yesterday. And so, yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely does. I know I commend you all for doing that. I know that's a difficult process to go through. I feel that, like with anything in life, honesty is always, you know, the utmost important thing. And specifically within a band, I think that's how you stay strong and you make sure everyone's, you know, doing things for the right reason. I want to know musically, just because I'm such a nerd, does this change the way, I mean, I know you all are so talented and you all do everything, which is so frustrating to me and amazing. But does this change the way that you harmonize? Were there certain parts that Jordan's saying that now you're like, okay, we have to change the structure? Or is it just like one person decides to sing lead and then everybody else finds their harmonies? Like, is it different every song? Like, does somebody else always take the lead? Has this changed things musically for you?
I think we're getting ready to start to figure that out, you know? Like, this is a process that we're all kind of like learning as we go. All right, like for the next record, for the next songs, for the next things that we're going to record, what is the best thing that we can do? What's just going to work now when it's now the five of us? And so this is a process I think we're starting to get going on. And I'm like really excited to figure out like what that direction is going to be. Because I think all the five of us, like creatively, we're really strong and we collaborate really well together. And I think we all kind of each get the best out of each of us. I think, but most importantly, no matter what we do with arrangements or like who's singing what or who's like playing what, I think what's most important is that each of us have a moment to kind of shine in each of these songs and in everything that we play too. So like, you know, this isn't just like, there isn't one song that's just a Simon song. There isn't one song that's just a Chad song or Chris or Austin or Caleb song. This is a King Calaway song, you know? So I think that's just what's really most important to us, is just figuring out what's best, but also trying to highlight each of our strengths, you know?
Absolutely. That totally makes sense. Well, I love you guys so much. Everybody watching needs to check out the KC House Band series because these five humans are just so, so ridiculously talented. And I appreciate you guys for coming on Living Well. I cannot wait to the next time we could actually stand on stage and make music together and actually do that in person.
Oh,
so I'm like,
Lindsay, I have to say, you are our favorite person in the world.
Seriously.
I'm serious. We love you so much.
You're like the loveliest human being, and you're such a talented musician. We love you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Lindsay, and she has helped us out so much too with us trying to get on the, you know, with country radio and stuff. She's always been like somebody in our ear, kind of helping us, giving us advice there. So just like, thank you for everything you've done for us.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we are all part of the same family. Yes, we are our label mates, and I believe in the higher tides make higher ships. Is that the saying? That's probably not the saying. I always mess
I like it.
Love it.
But we all are in this together. I love you guys so much, and
we love you, Lindsay. We love you.
And I hope I can see you all soon.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
I love those boys so much. They are just so sweet and really so ridiculously talented. When you hear them all sing harmony together in a room, you're just like, whew, that is some magic. Some magic. All right, guys, the moment we've all been waiting for, our favorite time of the week. It is now time for the Wellisms of the week. All right, Wellism number 1. Brides Across America is donating wedding gowns to support the marriages of frontline healthcare workers. This nonprofit usually donates gowns to military couples or first responders, but since the country's medical professionals are now risking their lives every single day for us in the fight against coronavirus, they have more than well shown and proven that they are heroes for us all. Every year since 2008, Brides Across America has donated around 2,000 wedding dresses, totaling 25,000 gowns over their history to brides across the country. That's amazing. How cool. A way to help each other out. I love it. All this positive news, guys. Wellism number 2. College grad student Holly Grounds designed a special packaging that dissolves in hot water to save on the use of plastics. Studying at Ravensburg University in London, Holly is responsible for developing an edible spice packaging film for instant noodles. She produced the film simply by mixing potato starch, glycerin, and water with the seasonings and pouring the concoction into a mold that can set for 24 hours. Once solidified, she uses the film to wrap the noodles into a donut shape for even heating on the stovetop. Not only is her design more environmentally friendly than consumer packaging, but it also takes way less time to cook. She really hopes that she can continue her design to decrease in our dependency on plastics as a whole within our world. Holly, oh my gosh, applause for you. That is incredible. So brilliant and so smart. All right, Wellism number 3. Stephen Wamukota is a 9-year-old from Kenya who took some of his dad's pieces of wood and built a public hand washing sink in his community to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. The sink's mechanism is triggered by a foot pedal at the base of the station so people can wash their hands without being forced to touch its surface and risk contracting the virus. Stephen was inspired to build the sink after watching the news and has since made plans to build several more throughout his community. He was just presented with the Presidential Order of Service Award as well as a scholarship from the governor once he is old enough to attend college. Stephen plans to become an engineer. Watch this video. Oh my goodness, Stephen, I love you so much. You are 9 years old. You are already changing the world so much. I cannot wait to see what you do with your future. All the power to you. We are rooting for you. Thank you guys for tuning into episode 14 of Living Well. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment below on who you want as guests on future Living Well episodes. I'm so excited that Heart Theory, my record, is coming out in less than a month. I cannot wait for you guys to hear the rest of my process, my journey, my story. You can pre-order the album. I will also put that link below this video. I would truly love it if you pre-ordered the record. And we will have a brand new song dropping later this week that I'm super pumped about. So many exciting things to come. I just appreciate you guys for watching this and for wanting to be along this journey with me. Stay tuned for a very intense and amazing episode next week of Living Well. Thank you so much to King Calaway for coming on today, and we'll see you next week, guys.